A very good afternoon. Welcome back to beautiful Les Sables d'Olonne. It really is a lovely day here, sunny, and we're really starting to anticipate the finishes. It's day 62 on the race course. We're still looking at a Tuesday finish for Charlie Dallin. He needs to stay alert and just stay focused. Otherwise, good news for Sam Goodchild in fourth, racing super close with Jeremy Bayou. They actually could see each other this morning. Meantime, Boris Herrmann has completed another mass climb. It's been a tough time for him, really difficult for him because he's particularly not scared of heights and not accustomed to them. Maybe he's getting a little bit more accustomed now. And Eric Bellion heading into the Falklands to make some repairs. But first, an update from Boris and his mass climb.
All the markers have, by rule, a fixed stay, which is a J2 stay, so the one of the normal jib that we always use. But everyone lashes the J2 on top and the bottom. In the last Vendée Globe, we had lots of J2 issues, and people needed to climb and have a hard time, get them back and back down, back up, and repair them or stuff like that. And then I discussed with Antoine Mermot, we should allow a rule for a hook to get the sail down in case of a problem, which we got permission. So we developed a hook over 2 years ago. And we had it on since. We tried it. We said we will only use it in the Vendée if it's showing reliable. And we had it on for the last season. I think even for the TJV. So no problems there, but nothing compares to the Vendée. The Vendée is more strain on the boat. And now it broke. So the stay was still in place, of course, but just the sail slid down along the stay. So I pulled up the sail with a halyard, then climbed, lashed the sail. In theory, very straightforward and easy, but it took me somehow 3 hours to do everything because everything takes longer alone on a boat. You need then to undo the sail in the bottom, winch it up 20 times back and forwards to winch a bit, put the zip down on the sail, close the zip that holds the sail around the headstay, go back, winch up, da-da-da. You imagine everything takes very long. And then up the rig, I had a bit difficulties to do my lashing correctly and find the right height for the sail. So when I was coming down already, I realized, oh, the sail is too low. I climbed up and I created a perch just to pull it a bit more up. And I finally found the perfect height of the sail. So job done. That's good.
So job done then for Boris Herrmann, saying he had 3 hours at the top of the mast fixing that lashing, but hopefully things in good shape for him now. So my guests today, they have 6 laps of the planet between them. I'm very pleased to have Michel Desjoyeaux, double winner of the Vendée Globe, with us live in the studio. A cameo appearance from Mich. And online from Barcelona in Spain, we have Abby Ehler, who has 4 laps of the planet. Abby, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Soaking up the sunshine here in Barcelona. Thanks, Andy.
We're soaking up the sunshine here in Les Sables d'Olonne. Mich, your thoughts on this race? It's been an incredible race, super close at the front.
Yeah, super close at the front. On an impression, and a big gap with the second group, where is Sam Goodchild, and Boris was close in this group too. On a very big distance, huge distance between the two first and the last one, which is more or less 3 Atlantic crossing distance. So we saw that this year that there was really a big stretch between the leaders who are able to go very fast to optimize everything, and the one who are just competitors. It is already very hard to make the Vendée Globe. We don't have to forget that. But this time we really see the difference, yes.
What's been the key at the front of the race, do you think, between Charlie and Yoann?
I think that the experience in terms of racing, most of them are very good competitors, especially we saw them on the Figaro. Yoann won 2 times, Charlie made it 5 times on the podium. And they were able to have very good boats, pushing them always, having small issue. Yoann had one 2 days ago. Charlie had a big one in the south, but they were able to fix them. And it's all this mix to make a result to perform.
May should come back to you in a few seconds. We have Sam Goodchild with us. Sam, how are you?
Hi Andy, hi Mich, hi Abby. Very well.
How's it going? You're going well. You have a boat race against Jeremy Bayou at the moment.
Yeah, it's going well. I think Jeremy doesn't like being by himself. Every time we get more than 5 miles apart, he comes back to get a bit closer. So, and he spent the first half of the race with Michel. So, yeah, I'm not going to get lonely anytime soon. But yeah, having a good race and happy to have made a little bit of a break on a few boats behind us.
How do you feel in terms of pressure now? You've really proven yourself on this race. Is the pressure still on or is it off? What's your mindset right now?
The only pressure is from myself. Yesterday when Jeremy Bayou got close, I turned the AIS on and was looking at the performance every 30 minutes like we do in the Figaro. And today I've turned it off. I've stopped looking because it's too stressful. So yeah, it's more pressure for myself than anything else. And having another boat alongside means you've always got something to measure yourself against. I'm just trying to find the right balance. And this morning the conditions have been fairly unstable, which doesn't help things. But anyway, part of the game.
Just talk to us briefly about the weather ahead then. You're coming into the equator and the doldrums. They don't look too bad for you.
Yeah, so we're in the South Atlantic trade at the moment. I'm 500 miles roughly from the equator. The doldrums are not far off the equator at this time of the year, so yeah, we're going to have a bit of a light patch. There's a bit of cloud activity, so I imagine I'm going to have to deal with something, but it's not looking like a 2-3 day affair like it was on the way down south. So yeah, cross my fingers it will be fairly straightforward getting through them. But I mean, we'll slow down. The boats behind us will catch up, and if we
Mish, have a quick word with Sam. Say hello.
Hey, hi Sam. It's a pleasure to see you sailing this race. We saw you very confident in the Atlantic at the beginning. Maybe the south was a bit difficult for you, but now very good comeback at the front of the lead. How was this race, and is it how you were expecting this race?
It's a good question. I mean, it's not what I was expecting, no. In some ways, it's easier, and in some aspects, it's harder. I was expecting it to be by myself on a boat for 2.5 months I kind of feel like it was never ending and feel like a really long time. I remember when we did the ocean race for 5 weeks, that felt long, so I thought, oh my God, 10 weeks is going to be way too long. And actually, it's gone really fast. But what I found quite stressful is managing the whole technical side of things. And when you have a small technical issue, how much time do you invest into it? How much time do you repair it? Do you not repair it? How much risk do you take? And that was kind of strained me mentally much more than I was expecting it to. So yeah, a little bit of both bits.
Mish?
Yeah, I didn't understand everything he said. So
I'll come back to you in a second. Abby, say hello to Sam, who obviously you know really well. Sailed with him on Wholesome PRB. Abby's with you, Sam.
Hey Sam,
Hi, Abby.
great to see you and great to see how well you're doing. I've been comparing, I guess, your race to our little lap around the planet, and obviously events like you losing your I think it was the throw or the zero that you lost, and just thinking how much of a challenge that was for when there was 4 of us on board pulling it back in, and how much water we got in Wholesome, and then thinking about you doing that on your own. I mean, full respect.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. So I guess you learn to deal with things with what you've got, don't you? When you've got 4 of you, you make it hard work, and if you're by yourself, you take a bit more time and you figure a way of doing it. But yeah, I think a lot about our 4 weeks in the south. Some good memories.
Yeah, and equally, like your position where you are now. We had a bit of fun and games with our autopilot about 4 days after we rounded the Horn. And I was praying that you wouldn't have those same conditions or problems, but
That's another question.
No, things seem to be going really well and not that far to the finish now.
Yeah, well, 2 years ago we got beaten up going downwind, and this year we got beaten up going upwind. So I think we're going to stop going down Cape Horn now.
Until the next time.
Until the next time. Michel, another question for Sam, or observation?
Sam, I have a question for you. Since I met you maybe 15 years ago, I think, you sailed a lot with a different kind of boat, monohull, multi-hull, short crew and a full crew. This Vendée Globe was maybe the race was missing for you, for your experience. Are you ready now to go for a second one?
Yes, is the short answer. I'm ready to go for a second one. I don't remember if you remember, Michel, I asked you in 2014 or 13 maybe. I said, Michel, I want to do the Vendée Globe. But Brian Thompson asked me to come down on a trimaran with a crew. Should I do it or should I not do it? And your reply was, Sam, go, because when you come back, you'll be happy going 30 knots, no problem.
Cool.
And it was a very good advice. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Sam, just talk to us a little bit about your kind of motivation and your mindset. Do you talk to yourself? Do you talk to the boat?
I don't talk to the boat. Maybe I should. I talk to myself a bit. I'm not going crazy. It's very good chat about decision making, but no. I mean, it's a lot of going through in your head. What is the next step? What could happen? What if this happens? What will I do? Whether that's strategically, whether it's tactically, whether that's technically. Like I said in my first reply, I know there's lots of small technical issues which you kind of have to keep on top on and trying to decide what to do, when to do, and how to do. It takes quite a lot of time and energy. So yeah, we're looking forward to the next light spot to get on top of a few things.
But in general, you seem to have managed to keep very even mood all the way through the race.
Yeah, I'm not a very massively emotional character, which comes with its pros and cons. But yeah, one of the pros is I don't have very big lows, so I'm good. I'm still enjoying myself.
Great stuff, Sam. It's fantastic to talk with you. Just finish with a special ooh la la for us.
No.
Not even for Mish.
Not even for you, Andy.
Oh, well done. All the best, Sam, and keep it up. Everybody's loving your race.
Cheers, Andy. Thanks, Mish. Thanks, Andy.
Bye-bye. Have fun.
So there we go, Mish. Sam, he just won't do the ooh la las, only off camera.
Yeah, only off.
But he's sailing a great race, isn't he?
Yeah, incredible. It's not a surprise for me because since I know him sailing a different kind of boat, I think his way is the good one to appreciate and to arrive on such a special race. It's difficult, but it's also a special race. To be in a good mood, as you ask him, and be confident and have pleasure to make this. And
I think that's the key. Is really enjoying it. It's his first time.
Yeah, for sure. You need to have experience enough to arrive on such a special long distance race. As he said, he'd never spent so much time alone on a boat or so much time on a boat racing. But if you don't want, especially to make this race, it will be very difficult. If you really want to go for that, you have the experience, you need that, but the main important is to want to go to be able to appreciate and to be in the right way to go forward every day, because it's not easy all the day. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's much harder. Now it's quite cool today for him where he is, but if you are really in a good ambition to be there, you can appreciate this is what he does now, and he does it quite well, for sure.
You say you've known him for 15 years. What impressed you most of all about Sam when you first met him?
When I at the beginning he was young. He was curious. He was asking questions. He was always trying to understand, not only focus on the competition, but how we can sail better. And then he continued to manage his career like that, which is quite a good expression today.
Mish, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you at the finishes, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we have Yoann Richomme. We spoke to it earlier on today. He's really just staying focused. He's going to try and keep closing distance, but that will largely be down to the weather between now and the finish. And this is Mish. This is Yoann.
Well, this is a little bit rougher than I would have thought. Since yesterday, we had been expecting about 25 knots of wind, and they went up to 34, 33, 34. So it was a bit rough, and the sea state is pretty rough. There we got two different swells, so the boat slams a lot, takes off and slams a lot. So, but I did manage to be happy with that, and yeah, everything is fine on board. I'm happy to be going around the corner of the restricted zone at the Azores, and then I'll have a bit more freedom with my route. And yeah, then we're on our way to the high pressure around Europe.
And tell us, how is this, the loss of a sail, how is that going to impact you between now and the finish?
I don't think it should impact me that much, the loss of the sail. I didn't have a look at it, really. I mean, I'm just going day by day, pretty much. Yeah, there's a bit of a light patch where I could have needed it, but it's easily replaceable with a fractional zero, so it's not that big of a loss. It'll be all right. It'll be all right for me. I mean, anyway, if I, thinking of catching up Charlie is very tough. I don't see it happening. So to me, I'm just sailing as fast as I can, and we'll see what happens with him. But I think it's a far, far dream.
Tell me about next weekend. What are you looking forward to next weekend? It's hard to believe this is the last weekend of the race.
Yeah, it should be the last weekend of the race. If it isn't, I'm having problems. No? I think we'll be welcoming Sebastian into the Table d'Olonne, right? Or something like that. Well, pretty much hanging around with the family, be good, with the girls, spending time with them, and get into some normal rhythm if I can. It might not be that easy.
Richomme then this morning really still focused, but I think more or less accepting that he's going to have something special to get past Charlie Dallin. Meantime, Abby, talk to us about Sam Goodchild. You sailed all the way around the world with him on Wholesome PRB. What's he like on board?
I think Sam pretty much summed him up himself there, that he's a very, a very calm and level-headed person, which plays out great in this sort of environment where you need to be ready for the massive highs and lows that can play out. But I think the one thing that stood out for me for Sam is that he is a very well-rounded sailor, and his experience in match racing, which brings the tactics for boat on boat, his technical experience, as Michel was saying, his want to find out how to sail a boat better, to sail faster. I mean, he just brings everything to this game, and sailing is such a complex sport. I think that's what sets him apart from some of the other sailors that I've met along through my career.
He's not overawed by the complexity of it, is it? He just takes it step by step from what I see.
Yeah, and I think that's what you said, the way that you're seeing now in his videos, that he's much calmer and almost enjoying it. And whereas towards the beginning, there was perhaps a bit more stress, at the start of a race that's that long, it's really hard to get into a routine, I would imagine. And as Sam was saying himself, managing the technical side of the boat, managing yourself, that is a big issue. And then the race, and racing against your competitors. I mean, there is so much to it, but I think obviously he's doing a great job, and I think to be on that home straight now, I think that's where we're seeing he's really just enjoying it. The fact that he's turned off his AIS to reduce the stress and just to concentrate on sailing his boat. It's about getting the boat to the finish line now.
You're obviously watching the race fairly closely.
Yeah, I mean, just dipping in, getting the updates. I'm not a confessed navigator or weather router, so I don't enjoy that side. But just looking at how you can pick up how people are feeling just by the videos. Just looking at obviously how big the bags are under their eyes, or if they've had technical damage on board. I mean, that is the worst thing that can happen on a race like this, because it just sucks so much energy, so much time, and as Sam said, weighing up the risk and the reward of how you deal with technical issues and how much time you commit trying to solve it, or do you just patch it and keep going?
Obviously, Holcim PRB is a boat that you know very well. How do you feel its performance compares in this race?
I think Nico didn't have a great amount of time leading up to the race to get to know the boat. But I mean, we know that the boat is an extremely fast boat, and we've seen that. I think Nico was one of the ones that set the speed record in those first few weeks of this Vendée Globe. So, I mean, an amazing job by Nico. I think that the boat obviously has a great shore team that have managed to put a lot of work into the preparation and the technical side. So, yeah, I think for Nico just to be doing so well in this race and no major technical issues, touch wood, so far, it's great to see.
It's a major achievement for Abby. I'll come back to you in just a few seconds. Let's run through the weather as at lunchtime today.
この間の嵐、が終わって、少しね波が穏やかになってきました。嵐でねマストトップのウィンデックス風見がね飛んでしまったんですよ。非常に残念ですね。今の選手はねあんまり風見見ないんですね。こう公開ケーキだけで見るんだけど、僕はやっぱりこうアナログのマストトップに風見がついてないと嫌なタイプなんで、古いセーラーですから。あれがねなくなってすごく寂しいんですよ。パッと見た瞬間ねどっから風吹いてるか分かりますからね。アナログ人間の僕としては使いやすかったんですけども、残念ながら飛んでしまいました。でも何秒をね風見が持ったんだから、それだけのも褒めてあげたいなと思ってます。
So a quick flash through Saturday's weather, looking first of all at the boats at the front of the fleet. Charlie Dallant, Yoann Richomme and Sébastien Simon, all still on this big, long starboard tack. Remember, they made the tack into the southeasterly trades about a day before the equator, so they're continuing on that. All the time they have this high pressure to their east, which is the light wind zone, stronger winds out, southerlies out to their west, and at the moment they're just negotiating the exclusion zone round the Azores just now. All the time this high pressure is blocking their progress to the east. It's about running up the edge of this band of high pressure, and the high pressure means that they're going to have to come all the way around to the Point de Bretagne out here on the final approach into Les Sables d'Olonne. All the time the delta staying roughly the same. There may be some gains for Yoann Richomme, possibly able to come in a little bit closer, cutting the fromage, cutting the corner a little bit. It's going to be all about the evolution of this high pressure. That's what is going to determine how much you can catch up. But generally light winds coming down from the tip of Brittany down towards the finish, but fairly straightforward for Charlie Dallant coming in. And there we can still see Sébastien Simon out further down at the racetrack. Now then, for the next group, well, focus first of all on Sam Goodchild and Charal, Jeremy Bayou. They're getting into the stronger trade winds, the trade winds building as they go up towards the equator, and the doldrums tomorrow later on in the day, but it should be an extension for the two leaders principally. Otherwise, back here, well, we're watching how Benjamin Dutroux does relative to Sam Davies and Clarice Kramer in this cold front here. Unfortunately for Clarice and Sam, the cold front moving slightly to the northeast with them, so travelling it with them and causing their consistent problems. So we're going to watch how that develops. The advantage definitely with the Benjamin Dutroux in the meantime, but that will play out probably tomorrow. We'll see whether Benj crosses ahead of Sam. But that's an interesting one. Otherwise, I say fairly straightforward for the leaders of that main group. The advantage should continue with them up across the equator. And again, just looking at the doldrums there, nothing too drastic for them lying in their way. Finally then, just a quick look further down the fleet. Jean Lacam emerged out of the lighter breezes and crossing the high pressure. His advantage will, however, compress in the near future, we think, as they come into the stronger breezes. Meantime, back here, very difficult in this high pressure system for, this is Kojiro Shiraishi, and he's probably going to doing his penalty today. That may actually end up costing him, because he could end up a system behind. Indeed, watching Koji here, just doing his penalty, is compressed against the exclusion zone with this high pressure. And in the meantime, the trio coming in from behind, they could compact right into Koji. So difficult time for our Japanese skipper, but that's the weather this Saturday. Indeed. So, Abby, another sailor you've raced around the world with, Sam Davies. Your thoughts on Sam's race? She's in a little bit of a tight spot with this cold front that she's trying to escape from.
Yeah, I mean, it's not been an easy race from the weather point of view, but I think just watching her videos, and she seems to be in a really great spot mentally. I mean, she really seems to be enjoying this race. And I think the fact she's got Clarisse and also, you know, a couple of other boats around her, it just keeps that pressure on, keeps you constantly looking at the chart, looking at your competitors and pushing the boat. But I think just for me, seeing her in such a good spot, enjoying it, and obviously in a great position, it's really nice to see.
I think having had to retire from the last race and still carry on really has given her a much greater appetite for this race than perhaps had she finished last time.
Exactly. I mean, I think that was just everything that you don't want to happen in your race. And I think in one of her recent interviews, she said this is very much like her first race where she's got so much fire in her belly. She's, you know, passionate about doing well. She's passionate about the cause that her boat is representing, the project, and you really see that. It comes across. And I think obviously when you're in that good mental space, it's so important in a race like this, being alone, being at sea for so long, that you're on top of all your technical issues and you can actually sail the boat to its potential.
She's one of these sailors who's just happy being on the water. There's not really actually that many in the fleet who fall into that category.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously got to be a certain amount of love to go out there and spend 80 days at sea on your own. So it's not everybody's cup of tea. Doing it, sailing around the world with a team is, you know, bad enough in the respects of living in pretty primitive conditions. But yeah, doing it on your own is next level. But I think you've got to really want to do that. And I think we saw that in Sam Goodchild, you know, this being his first race, and also with Yoann, the passion is there to do it. And as Mich said, you get to that point where you've got the experience, you're comfortable in these positions, and yeah, you're ready to take it on. And for Sam, this is obviously her fourth race, but the experience that she brings from each and every race has put her in a much better position now to take on the Vendée Globe.
Abby, I'll come back to you in a few seconds. Let's look at the ranking. But first, Eric Bellion was flown over by the RAF close to the Falklands.
Ha ha ha! La RAF surveille les Malouines. Wouh! Ah ha ha! Génial! Yes! Excellent. On vient de discuter, hyper sympa. Contrôle toute la zone.
So the standings this afternoon, well, Charlie Dallin is 148 miles ahead of Yoann Richomme. So a little bit of compression since yesterday with Yoann coming in, about 50 miles, 40 miles or so since yesterday. That will probably continue in the interim, but nothing to worry about for Charlie Dallin. Meantime, Sebastian Simon, a solid third with a good 600 miles or so between him and Yoann Richomme, and almost 2,000 miles now back to Sam Goodchild. Sam Goodchild and Jeremy Bayou, they're only 2 miles apart, super close, about 5 miles of lateral separation for them. Otherwise, there is about 61 miles back to Paul Mea in 9th, Thomas Rion in 8th. Then Boris Herrmann still hanging in there in 9th after making his repairs. He's just a little bit ahead of Justin Metro, still has breathing space there. Sam Davies in 13th of our internationals. Looking further down the table, Alan Rura still solid in 17th with Giancarlo Pedotti. Isabel Joshkin 19th, Conrad Coleman in 22nd from New Zealand. Kojiro Shiraishi 28th. ahead of Eric Bellion, Jinkun Chu in 32nd, and Denis van Weenberg at Point Nemo, or approaching Point Nemo, in 35th. And that's the standings. The day 62, I thought I was just starting to get the hang of my famous touchscreen, but edition number 10 of the Vendée Mag is just online. Here's a little teaser of our 26-minute roundup of the race.
In this week's Vendée Mag, Charlie Dallan and Yoann Richomme begin their sprint for the finish. Jean-Luc van der Heide, who podiumed in the first two Vendée Globes, talks about ice and Cape Horn, and Matt Bastard from French rock band Skip the Use on his songs inspired by Eric Bellion.
So indeed, the 10th edition of our Vendée Mag is online now, so do catch up with the week's news. Abby Ehler, what's next for you then?
Well, I finished up with the Youth and Women's America's Cup, which took place in Barcelona over the summer. So in just taking a little bit of downtime to, readjust with family, and then looking forward to getting back sailing in the springtime. Admiral's Cup is back in the UK, so that's on the cards.
Who are you sailing with?
The Ocean Race with Black Pearl.
Oh, nice. Good stuff. And then are we going for another ocean race, are we?
Never say never, but for now, no.
I'll watch this space. Abby, a real pleasure to speak with you. Enjoy Barcelona and the sunshine. So there we go. Abby Ehler leaving us. Our guest will be back tomorrow, same time in the same place with the Vendée Globe live. And as ever, join us then.
Enfin de la chaleur! C'est reparti!